Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of AB in the Films. As usual, I always do something Halloween related every year. So I decided to see this movie. Which I have to say I was very intrigued. Not only as I was watching it, but beforehand. Because I am a huge fan of the Child's Play series. So, before I go into the movie, I want to go into a little bit of my history with this franchise, okay? You know, 2004 was a strange year for me because that was the year when I really wanted to, that was the year when the year before 2004, in 2003, I said to myself, okay, I want to be a filmmaker. I want to make movies. I had a real ambition to become a filmmaker, or something with movies. So, in 2004, I paid attention to every movie that got released that year. Every film. And I became intrigued in movie trailers and, you know, how they made the movie and who's in the movie and who directed it and who was the distributor and all that stuff. So finally, I didn't see the preview for it, but I saw this title, Seed of Chucky, had come up. And I didn't see the movie poster. I had no idea what the movie was about. And my aunt was over, this particular day, and said, "Oh, Chucky, that's the killer doll." And I was like, "What?" And she told me this story of these movies about this killer doll named Chucky. And I was terrified. And I knew what the doll looked like, but I hadn't seen a movie, I hadn't seen anything, and I was terrified. I was truly petrified of this franchise. I didn't want to go see these movies. I was scared. So what I decided to do was not see it. I mean, like, let me just clear it up for you how scared I was. You could have a copy of one of the films if it was in my house. Like, never mind if it was on, but if it was in my home, the DVD or VHS of one of the movies, that alone would scare me to death. Just the fact that something related to this doll was in my house would scare me, and I would have nightmares going to sleep. I would get so nervous, like around Halloween time, daylight savings time, I would get scared just by the fact that it was going to be nighttime in a couple hours. That's how scared I was. I was terrified. And when I turned 12 and 13, I still was scared. I was scared to death. And then I said to myself, you know what? I'm not gonna be scared anymore. I want to see these movies, because there has to be something in these movies that I'm not getting. Because I thought it was just, all these films were just, just horror, and this doll, Chucky, was evil, possessed by a demon, or what. I didn't know what it was. So I saw the second Child's Play 2. It came on TV, and I watched it, and I was still a little bit by watching that, because I had seen clips of this doll, and over time I got used to, what the doll looked like and everything, because I remember, if a Chucky movie was on, I would stay out of the room and listen to it, but I wouldn't watch it. I could listen to it, but I didn't want to look at it. No, because I knew later that night when I would be sleeping in bed, I would have nightmares. I didn't want to see it. So I saw the second one, and it wasn't what I thought it would be. It was actually kind of funny. Because Chucky has all these, lines that he says that are humorous. But when you're a kid, you think, oh my god, this is terrifying. And me, I'm the guy that looks at movies very technical. I didn't look at all at any of these films like, oh, how did they do that? How did they do that? No. I was just so scared to death by these movies. And I've seen The Exorcist, and The Exorcist didn't scare me, because I'm looking at that like, oh, that's not so scary. I know how they do that. Chucky didn't do it, didn't do any of that, didn't look at anything technical in that film. I didn't want to look at it, nothing. So I saw the second one, and I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it, I liked the story and everything, and it made me want to see the first one, because it ties in with the first one, So, as the years go on, I see all the Chucky movies. I see the first one, I see the third one, and I see Seed of Chucky officially, and I see Bride of Chucky. And this is my quick rundown of it. Now that I've seen the new one, Curse of Chucky, For me, it's kind of like, this is a really strange comparison, but for me, it's kind of like the Star Trek movies. I like the even-numbered ones, and the odd-numbered ones, not so much. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's how everyone feels about the Star Trek. I can't believe I just compared Chucky to Star Trek. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much how I feel. First one, it is the first one is the most suspenseful, I will say that, but not really, because we know the doll's possessed, because in the first 10 minutes we see what happens, and we know the doll's going to be possessed anyway, so there's really no suspense in there. Like, maybe it is in the boy's mind. No, we never think that, because we know the doll's alive, okay? We never see it alive, but we know it's alive. So the first one, it's okay. Second one, I love, because the second one, they show more of Chucky alive, and it's really, it's funny, because that's when it started to go into a comedy kind of thing. It was still horror. All of them are still horror, except for Seed of Chucky. That's straight up comedy. That's not horror at all. But the second one I really like, especially the last scene when they're in the toy factory and everything, because you never know, like, where he is or everything, because all when they're making the dolls and everything, you never know if that one's him or not. That one was pretty good. Child's Play 3, the one when Andy goes to military school, I thought it was okay. I just didn't think it was that... It wasn't as good as the second one, in my opinion. But it was okay. Bride of Chucky, love it. I love that one. That was my favorite Chucky movie. Because here's the thing, Child's Play 2 was the first one I saw, and Bride of Chucky was the last one I saw. By the time I saw Bride of Chucky, I saw all 5 of them. So, Bride of Chucky, that was like... Okay, that one was really good, because, you know, we had Tiffany in that one, and that one was good. Seed of Chucky, oh boy, they're really pushing it. I just thought, you know, I didn't like it as much as Bride of Chucky. Let me just say that, okay? Like, Seed of Chucky, it's got a few good moments in there. You expect it. I mean, the title alone, you know, it's going to be a comedy. I mean, it's Chucky, for God's sake. You know it's going to be a comedy, but... It was good. I liked it. And now we have Curse of Chucky. It has been 9 years since the last Chucky movie, and we have this one. And I was so pissed off when I heard this was going to be a direct-to-DVD release. I was hoping it would be released in theaters, because I remember saying to myself, oh great, my first Chucky movie in the movie theater. I can finally see this in theaters. But nope. But I can see why the acting isn't all that spectacular in this, but we're not here for that. We're here to see Chucky. So anyway, if you guys already don't know the story, I'll fill you in a little bit. This woman receives a package in the mail, and it's, of course, Chucky, the killer doll. And they open up the box, and they're like, I don't know who this belongs to. It doesn't belong to us. And then... this woman has a family, and her family comes in to help because apparently one of their family members had previously just died. I wonder how that could have happened. Did I mention it was a murder and it took place inside the house? Who could have done it? But anyway, so the family comes in and they realize that strange things start to happen in this house, and they're wondering, what could it be? But we all know what's going on. But anyway, so basically, it's a standard Chucky movie, but the reason what makes this one so good is not the fact that it's an even-numbered one, because this is the 6th Chucky film. What makes this movie really good is that it goes back to what the first one did. This one does have comedic elements. I mean, it's Chucky. Chucky's gonna curse. He's gonna swear. And that stuff we love. We laugh our asses off at that stuff. But what's so good about this one is that it goes back to the first one. We don't see Chucky actually start to talk until about an hour into the movie. And the first Child's Play was the same way. I mean, we see Chucky as a doll, but we never see him, like, talk or do the laugh or kill anybody. We don't. It's just implied. So we never see him actually talk until about an hour in, which is really kind of clever. It's suspenseful because you wonder, when is he going to start doing what he normally does, you know? But what I loved about this movie a lot was that when I saw the trailers for this film, I had a lot of questions. If this is the 6th film, and Don Mancini and David Kirshner worked on this, okay? They worked on this one. They've worked on all the other Chucky movies. How is this going to tie in with Seed of Chucky? Okay, I mean, it's called Curse of Chucky, so obviously it's going to tie in with the other ones. It has to, otherwise why would it be called Curse of Chucky? So after that, I was wondering how they tie it in. They do it interesting. They do a very interesting job at this. In fact, one of the things I love is that, now this is a spoiler alert, okay, this is big spoilers. In the trailers and in the pictures on the internet, people are saying the doll they have doesn't look like Chucky. It doesn't look like him. I mean, everybody I've heard, everybody I've talked to about this always say he looks fatter, like his face, like it doesn't look like the doll. It's weird. This is why, okay? In this scene, and he doesn't have the scars in this one, here's the scene. I don't know how they did this, but this was a huge, like my jaw dropped as I watched this, okay? The mother of the little girl who's a member of the family comes in the attic, and she's alone in the attic with Chucky, and did I mention that it's a stormy night too? So you know where this is going. So she sits him down, and she looks at his face. And you've seen this in the trailer, when she, like, looks at his face, and she peels something, and he, like, moves his head. She peels a piece of plastic off of his face. A scar is showing. And then she does it right here, peels another piece of skin, and a scar is showing. And she does it again, and he bites her, and she macks up, and he's like this. And he's got the scars, and he doesn't look so fat anymore, and he looks like himself again. And I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. This is so cool, you know, because he's back again, you know. And he walks up to her, and you know, his feet, he runs like that with his feet, and he's got the knife. And apparently, this is why it's called Curse of Chucky. He knew this family back in the 80s, before he got gunned down at the toy store in the first one. This is before he met Andy. He knew this family. He was the neighbor of this family, and he wanted to get revenge for this family because the grandmother in here, because she has two daughters, one of them's in the wheelchair, and one of them, a paraplegic, and the other one is the mother who I was just telling you about, who peels the skin off, and they have a kid. Charles Lee Ray knew this woman, and he wanted to be with this woman. He wanted to be the father of these two daughters, and she said no. And when he's telling the paraplegic, who is Fiona Dourif, Brad Dourif's actual daughter, who wasn't that bad in the movie. I thought she was pretty good. She can act. She's a good actress. When he's telling her the story, it ties in with the first one, and it's really interesting. It's really cool how they did that. And one of my favorite scenes in the film, there's three scenes I love. One of them I just told you, when she peels the skin. The other one is, there's two more. The other one, no, there's a couple of ones. The second one I love is when the little girl is under the blanket with Chucky when it's storming, and we haven't seen Chucky talk yet. And she looks at him and she goes, "Chucky, I'm scared." And it zooms into Chucky's face, and you see him look up, and he's like, "You fucking should be." Like that. That was great. That was so great. Jennifer Tilly comes in as Tiffany. And I thought Tiffany wasn't going to be in this one, and she is. It's only for a 2-minute scene, but Tiffany's back in this one. I thought Tiffany wasn't going to be in it, but she is. And she has Chucky, and Chucky goes over to there's a really good scene with that with Tiffany. There's a scene at the end of the movie. It's after the credits. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I don't want you to. But all I can say is that when it comes to this scene, it's the same actor. Okay? So, pretty much, Curse of Chucky was suspenseful. It was funny. It ties in with the other ones really well. But I'll tell you this, though. It's a huge improvement over Seed of Chucky. I'll tell you that. Because Seed of Chucky, like, even if you are a Chucky fan, I know most of the Chucky fans do not like that one specifically. Some people do, some people don't. I think for a lot of people, they either hate it or it's their one that they dislike the most, I think. Like, it's way down. Like, that would be the last one that they would enjoy. For me, it is, too. I'd rather watch Child's Play 3 than watch Seed of Chucky, honestly. So anyway, that's my review of Curse of Chucky. Do I think it's a good movie? Yes, it definitely is. It's one of my favorite Chucky movies. As I said, the even-numbered ones are my favorite. The odd-numbered ones are meh. Good film. I'd say go to the theater and see it, but apparently it's not in theaters, so you gotta get it on DVD. Or go on the internet, you know, someone's put it up on the internet, somebody has. So yeah, that's my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, happy Halloween. Take care.